Well, bowling fans are back. This time Sunset Bowl in Waukesha has a spot. We've got our Kickoff Classic coming to you today. Angie Recksteiner, head coach of the Cardinal Stritch Wolves bowling program, joining me again today. Thanks for showing up today, Angie.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
Young bowlers out here today, a little tougher shot than we had them on last time. We got them on the 37-foot Kegel Broadway pattern, so lots of friction on the lanes, but a much tougher shot. It's flatter from side to side, so you kind of saw out there in the lanes with the kids today. If they made a mistake, it was kind of magnified.
Yeah, either if they threw it outside, it was going to stay outside, and if they threw it left, it was hooking, as you know, quite a bit to the Brooklyn side.
Yep. Once again, a boys championship match, girls championship match, and then as always a challenge match between the boys and girls winners. I think we're going to see some really good bowling out here from our young bowlers today. Join Angie and I back from Sunset Bowl in just a moment. We'll bring you that girls championship match. With 24 state-of-the-art lanes, plenty of pool tables and dartboards, and great food and drink at Sporty's Bar and Grill, Sunset Bowl in Waukesha is your #1 place for fun. Opening match here from Sunset Bowl, the 2014 Kickoff Classic. A couple of faces we saw on TV late last year with Courtney Ermish and Maddie Brandos. They were both in our Top Gun high school finals for Motion Plus lanes. Been a few months since they've been on, but now they've made the return to TV, and Courtney leading us off. Very straight game for both players, and with this 37-foot pattern, it's short, the Broadway pattern, but as you've probably seen before in tournaments, a lot of oil in the front part of the lane means if you throw it a little fast, Angie, it goes right through the break point.
That's correct.
You're going to leave yourself the tough 1-2-4 to start with. Never an easy spare first time out if it's more than one pin. Coming right at you. It needs some help to get all the way up, and not quite enough there, and she leaves that 2-pin.
Yeah, it looks like she tried making an adjustment, however, still hit that oil a little bit fast on her, on her approach. Unfortunately, she missed.
If you're going to open a frame, may as well make it the first one. Get a bunch of strikes in a row, hopefully, and get yourself caught back up. And now, Maddie Brandos, part of the West Allis Central High School Girls Championship team from last year. And the opposite problem for Maddie, she goes high in her first shot, and it's a 3-6-10.
Yeah, a little nerves on the first shot. Looks like she, tugged it just a bit inside, which leaves you the 3-6-10.
Yeah, and on this show, the Kegel Broadway pattern is a lot flatter than what we saw at the house pattern at Castle Lanes for our opening tournament of the season. So you're going to see these smaller mistakes are going to be multiplied by the bowlers, and you're going to see more multiple pin combinations out here for spare leaves. One thing, you get your bowlers at Cardinal Stritch, they're out there, it's the first tournament of the year. They know it's a tougher pattern than probably they've bowled in leagues all summer, that type of thing. What's your advice to your bowlers to just try to get them to just, I guess, relax is the best word?
Keeping the word in mind, it's all about fun. Relax, throw good shots, but it's all about the experience. They got to be having fun out there. If they're not going to have fun, they're gonna tighten up, and they're not going to be as relaxed as they should be.
And Maddie, a little bit of a pull on that shot, making up for the first frame. Over pull, and that's just another pull left, and unfortunately for her, case of the left's going right now.
Yeah.
Those are always kind of tough to get over. First time on TV in a long time, and last time we saw her was the state championship finals. Team format, obviously, 5-person teams. It's a little bit easier to lean on your teammates. Now you're only leaning on yourself to get through these matches, and a nice bounce back by Courtney after that first frame open.
That was a really great shot. Good comeback.
Courtney going to be a senior this year at McWanago High School. Was part of the District 1 All-Star team that took first place for the girls in the state here at a tournament in Sunset Bowl back in March. Loves to play softball, but she's not on the lanes, and once again, way right on that lane. You can see she's a little perplexed on the way back.
What I like though is that she kept looking at the shot. She kept, watched the ball until it hits the pins, kind of to teach herself how to, how should I adjust for the next shot. Coming off a strike, she's got it on the right lane. She's trying to figure it out in the left lane. So she's not giving up. She's just trying to figure things out.
And every lane in the house is a little bit different. It's not like every lane from lane 1 to lane 24 here at Sunset Bowl has the exact same, topography as they call it. There's little indentations, little humps, little ridges that can cause the ball to not roll the same way from lane to lane, and you got to kind of figure it out.
Right.
Let's see what Maddie Brandos can do here to hopefully shake this case to the left she came out with the first 2 frames. And once again, a little bit left and can't quite get that 5 out on the crossover. And she's using a pretty aggressive ball out there for a shorter pattern. A storm bite. So with that bite, it kind of grabs the lane a little bit early, but for a straight player like her on a short pattern, not necessarily a bad ball choice. Just needs to get it a little farther out to the right.
Right. I think she needs to maybe open herself up a little bit, extend her arm swing to her target. Like I said, she's still tugging it right at the end.
Yeah, a lot better result though on that 5-pin. Looked like she was towards the 1-3 pocket side.
Looked a little bit more relaxed.
That's the key, as we said earlier. Just taking your time, getting your mental focus, and not tightening up when you're letting the ball go. And Adam Reicha, her teammate at New Berlin Bowl. See Adam walking around back there. He finished second in our Kids Bowling for Kids tournament back at Castle Lanes in March, and he donated all of his scholarship earnings to the American Diabetes Foundation that day. It was a tournament for the Max McGee Foundation at Children's Hospital, so that was very nice of Adam to do. And once again, Maddie lucky to leave just the 5-pin going left, and she switches balls that time. And that's a little better look for her. That might be the key right now.
A little bit easier, a little bit longer down the lane. Nice roll at the back end. Yeah, it just might be a little bit easier for her to control.
Well, and the key sometimes, as you said there, is the roll was controlled on the back end. And it's not about how many boards you cover on the lanes. It's a matter about controlling where that ball starts to roll up towards the pocket. And Courtney's got it right there on lane 4. She's got that lane down. Just has to figure out why she's coming up so light on lane 3.
Yeah, just a minor tweak.
So 10 back both times for her on lane 4, and probably her best bet, I'd think, in my opinion, would maybe just be move your feet and your target a couple boards to the right and take advantage of some dry.
I would agree.
Let's see what she does here on that. Needs the whole pocket. That was a tug and a big break to get that crossover going to our first commercial break of the afternoon. We're going to be back from Sunset Bowl in just a moment for the rest of this girls' championship match, so make sure you stay tuned. Courtney Ermish getting a big break with a crossover strike to give her a double and a 16-pin lead in this girls' championship from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha for the Kickoff Classic. Maddie Brandos still looking to get her first shot in the pocket here, Angie. But once again,
she's just tugging the ball really bad at, on her finish there.
Yeah, I mean, from watching her earlier in the day, it seems like she's just kind of trying to fit the ball into her swing. She's holding that push away a little long.
Yeah.
And then when the ball gets to the bottom of the swing, you've seen it with a lot of your players when they get nervous, is that it's just a case of the lefts.
Yeah, she's trying to control it, rather than let the ball do the work. But I will say on her spare shot, she looks a lot more relaxed, more comfortable. It's that first shot that she just can't find it yet.
And unfortunately for her, not able to take that 9-pin out on the 3-9 combination. That's always tough on the right side of the lane, getting the ball to hook back enough and take both pins out. And now she finds herself down by 29 pins with the frames running out here as she steps up in her half of the 6th frame. Once again, off to the left, misses the head pin entirely left, and another not-so-easy combination here with the 1-3-6-9. And sometimes bowlers get a little bit, I guess you could say, freaked out by shorter patterns too. I mean, this pattern's only 37 feet in length. The bowlers know they have to get the ball, help the ball get to the right down lane. And if you try to give it a little bit too much speed or force it at the bottom of your swing, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble. Much better spare shot.
Like I said, she's more comfortable come her second shot now. She could just find that for her first shot. She'll be golden.
Yeah, I mean, she's not out of this match as of yet. She still has a 210 maximum score here. Courtney right now only going at a 220 pace, so if Courtney can leave a couple of openings for Maddie, she can find herself back in this match. That's a little bit left to target. Oh!
And it held. Great shot.
Got that 10 pin out, and sometimes that's the toughest pin to kick out. Getting in the pocket if that ball's a little bit fast or a little left. You can see she had a little bit of hold on that shot, and the 6 just enough on the 10 pin to get it out of there. Getting that lead out to 39 pins. Little glance at the scoreboard as she goes up to throw her 7th frame here. Looking to get in her pocket the first time on lane 3. Rolls up nice and gets that wall shot. Every bowler's friend, Wally.
Sometimes a little light hit is better than a solid pocket.
Yeah, watch the hip pin go to the sideboard. Takes out the 4 and 7. 5 pin taken out by the rest of the mess, and 49 pin lead for Courtney. You can see she's got a little bit of a smile going back there. She knows she's well in the lead, but Maddie needs to start straying some strikes. Once again, just left, unfortunately.
Not as much as a tug, but you know, still pocket Brooklyn. If a shot like this or a pattern like this is new, take this as a learning experience. Take it as, you know, let's try something different.
So Maddie wanted to thank her parents, Janice and Dave, and her coach and ball driller, Dwight Albrecht, at the Spirit Time Pro Shop in New Brunswick. And Dwight and I and Steve Pfeiffer be starting that Spirit Time Bowling Show. First Sunday in October on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. 9 a.m. is our airtime. And I bet you we'll get you on there again, Angie, this year. Talk a little college bowling.
That'd be great.
See how the Cardinal Church Wolves are doing after the first couple of Wisconsin Collegiate Bowling Conference meets. And she finally finds the pocket there, and Maddie, of course, can't get the break to carry the 10 pin out.
But hey, you know, all she's got to do is keep her momentum going. That was a great shot. Work off that. Now run the 10 pin down.
I mean, she's covering a majority of her spares out here. She does have the one open with missing the 3-9 and another one with kind of a big pull on a picket fence in the second frame. But she's keeping herself relatively clean out here. But when your opponent's got 4 in a row already, looking for 5 in a row, the pressure's a little bit extra. You can see Maddie back there talking to her sister Molly. They actually had to bowl each other in the semifinals before reaching TV, so no matter what, there was a Brandos guarantee to be on the show, and Maddie came out on top, and Courtney Ermish, 5 in a row for her out here, and boy, she's making this tougher pattern look like a house shot right now.
Right.
So watch that ball, lane 4. She is 4 for 4 on that lane, in the pocket. She knows it was good out of her hand, and it's just a matter of getting that 10 out. A little bit of a confident look turning around there. She knows this match is pretty much in hand, just staying clean the last couple of frames. Rolls up and just can't quite get the 10.
Yeah, didn't have as much drive, but still a great shot. Let's see her run this sport.
So she knows the match is well in hand. She's going to be waiting in the wings for the winner of our boys championship match and the challenge match, final match of the show today. So when she steps into the 10th frame, you think maybe a little bit of an area check, maybe try a different ball. If you're her college coach, would you tell her to do something like that?
Yeah, you've got the lead. You know you're going into the next match. You know, pick something out of your arsenal, or just completely do a complete new lineup change. You know, line change. Try something. Give yourself some options.
Maddie Brandos here, looking to just get out of here, save a little face. Still walking away with second place scholarship money today in the girls division. Always good to get some college money. And finally, 10 in the pit and a pocket shot. I thought we'd get a little smile out of her out of that after all the frustration, but she's still working it through. She wants to get out of here with that 187 game if she can strike out.
Yeah, what I like about her is she never gave up. You know, she had a struggle up into this frame. She never backed down.
Yeah. Maddie going to be a junior at Brookfield Central High School this year. She can get the lucky break to roll the 5 off the 7. Nope, not that time. So another strong young player, still a couple of years of high school eligibility left, and I'm sure we'll probably see whatever team she bowls with this year, whether it's West Dallas Central that she co-opted with last year, or another team in high school. I bet you the team that her and her sister are on probably make the state tournament again. Cross lane at that 7 pin, no problem covering it up. And that's one thing I saw with Maddie and her sister Molly today. didn't give away a lot of single pin spares. If they left them, they turned around. It was all business. Cover up those 7s, cover up those 4s or 10s,
and that's what's really important. That's kind of like your make or break winning, a tournament. Got to make those spares, especially the single pins.
A lot more relaxed these last 4 shots. We've seen her once again can't get the 7 pin out, but I'm sure if she can get those first 5 or 6 frames back, I'm sure she'd be happy.
She has nothing to be upset about. She's got a great game. Definitely take this as a learning experience and just keep practicing off this.
Courtney, she's been pretty lined up in this lane. That's a little left out of her hand, and wow, that's a little unusual. I don't think if it was a close game she'd be smiling over that one, but she knew she pulled it a little left, leaving that 4-10, and she's going to be waiting in the wings for our boys championship match winner between Nick Hagen and Tyler Shee. Tyler making his 2nd U Challenge Series show in a row. Misses that 4-10 insignificant though in their 214 to 166 victory for Courtney Ermish. Angie Recksteiner and I will be back from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha with our boys championship match in just a moment, so make sure you stay tuned. With 24 state-of-the-art lanes, plenty of pool tables and dartboards, and great food and drink at Sporty's Bar and Grill, Sunset Bowl in Waukesha is your #1 place for fun. Girls Championship has been decided already. Courtney Ermish taking that match. Now we're going to have our Boys Championship here from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha. Nick Hagen and Tyler Sheehy. Nick Hagen leading things off here on lane 3 at Sunset Bowl. Nick, pretty conventional game out here. Very straight. Gets a little bit up on his toes. Kind of reminds me of Walter Ray Williams Jr. with the follow-through kind of up and out and on the toes. And like to throw a lot of strikes like Walter Ray.
Yeah, I would agree.
Almost gets a good break to take that 4-pin out a little high, and even though this is a 37-foot pattern as we talked about with Kegel's Broadway pattern, these bowlers are finding that the old term straighter is greater is best out there today, using very tame equipment and trying to let the lane do the work with the ball. Gets himself set up. Nice little 5-step delivery here for Nick. Cross lane at the spare, no problem coming up.
Great spare. Very solid.
You don't see a lot of short patterns in your college tournaments, do you, Angie? Most of the patterns you see are usually like 39 feet or longer.
Yeah, anything from medium to real heavy.
I saw some tournaments out there. Was it the Hoosier, I think, last year at a 50 or 51-foot pattern?
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't make it to that tournament last year due to our, low roster numbers. However, yeah, I've heard some really, really great things about the tournament. But yeah, definitely tough conditions.
Nice break there for Tyler Shee starting off. Thought he was going to leave a little bit of a light 2-8-10 combination there, and lucky to get the hip pin to come off the wall, kind of mix things around and take out the 8 and 10. Yeah, 52 feet. When you hear players like Marshall Kent and A.J. Johnson and Kyle Anderson, all bowlers you've seen on our shows in the past, playing the lanes super direct, even though they have a lot of hand, it had to be pretty interesting to see.
Right.
Tyler here looking for an early double. That's a little bit right at target, and you can see that ball just never picked up on the lane.
Yeah, he pitched it just a bit to the right of where he wanted it, and unfortunately hit the oil and couldn't come back.
Yeah, Tyler likes his Storm products. He's using the Storm IQ Tour ball out there for his strike ball. And he just finished 9th in the PBA Regional down in Springfield, Illinois, as we taped this show the day before. Gave it a good effort there, and only
great effort. I really liked how he went at that spare. We're trying to get a lot of our, our teammates to go more straight direct. It's more sort of a washout. So yeah, I definitely like his style.
Hopefully that pin account doesn't cost him anything later on. Always 1 = 2 on a strike, and hopefully he bounces back from that. Nick, you saw on our Top Gun show as well last year. Oh, it was pretty close to a foul there, but didn't cross the line. And he carries the strike to get himself an early 14-pin lead. So yeah, we have a foul judge out there as well, off camera. We can always check our cameras for replays to see if a bowler did actually foul. Some places with foul lights, they have, if the bowler gets close, it goes off or that type of thing. But we always have backups in place to make sure it would be a legitimate foul.
Sure. If
the bowler did so. No problem staying behind the foul line that time for Nick, and crushes that double.
Another great shot. He's got a very, actually both of these kids have really solid games, but now it's just getting the ball to the pocket and doing what you know.
Yeah, taking advantage. Your opponent leaves you an open frame, put the screws to him a little bit, and throw that double back at him, make him maybe force that next shot. Nice long use of the whole approach there for Tyler. Rolls up to the pocket, kicks the 10 out. Yeah, we're seeing lane 3 playing a little bit tighter today. We saw that with the girls with Courtney. She was struggling early on getting up to the pocket. She made that adjustment towards the middle of the game and ran off that 5-bagger. Now for Tyler, he needs to figure out what's going on in lane 3 after leaving a 2-10 in the second frame. If you left a 2-10 your first ball, what would be your move, Angie?
I would probably move just a slight bit to the right. Probably do like a 1-1 right.
And I think he was a little faster with speed on that one, though. It looked like he made that little move right. Definitely, ball didn't project as far out to the right as his first shot in that lane.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad shot. I think he did exactly what he wanted to do. But yeah, I would agree. Either his feet or his ball speed was just a slight too fast.
Let's see what Tyler can do here to cover this up. I'm sure he's going to go real straight at it, try to take the chop out of play, and right between the 4 and the 5. Perfect spare.
Great spare.
Still finds himself down by 24 pins early. Want to thank Action Heating and Cooling, of course, for all their sponsorship of our television shows all year. And I know it's fall, ladies and gentlemen, but remember how cold winter was last year? Don't wait till it's too late to find out your furnace isn't working right. Give the Peckus family a call down at Action Heating and Cooling, and they can get out there and give you a nice early season furnace inspection. Fix it up before something goes wrong. And you can see there, fast in the approach and up on the toes for Nick.
Yeah, he needs to just slow his speed, slow his footwork down just a tad. And like you said, came to that foul line. I don't know if he stuck or if he felt like he was going to fall forward over the line. So yeah, just keep those feet, slow and at a good pace.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good cadence. You can see right there, definitely slower on his spare ball, but caused that ball to overhook a bit and only takes out the 4-pin out of the 2-4-5, and all of a sudden, Tyler Sheehy finds himself back in this match after that open frame. Nick trying to gather himself back up here and get back and throwing some strikes. 4-pin high and a strike so far in this lane. Looks nice out of his hand. Oh, and he rings up a 10-pin.
Can't say anything bad about that shot. Everything was good for anything from his approach to ending at the foul line, and did everything he needed to do. It just couldn't take out the 10.
Let's see, switch to that polyester ball, move to the left side of the lane. Nick led District 1 in fill percentage last year, so odds are something tells me he's going to make sure he gets his 10-pin. Nice and balanced at the line. Covers that 10-pin up nicely, and we're going to get to our commercial break for this game. Join Angie Rexsteiner and I back from Sunset Bowl for the rest of this boys' championship match in just a moment. Nick Hagen holding on to a 7-pin lead here at Sunset Bowl for the boys' championship match in the 2014 Sunset Kickoff Classic. Tyler Sheehy struggling a little bit on lane 3 here, but not as good lane right now with lane 4. Nice setup position, gets that right shoulder lower than the left, lets it swing nice and loose. Once again, another nice shot in lane 4 for Tyler.
Great shot. Now hopefully let's see him try carrying this over to lane 3 and see if he can get some momentum going.
Yeah, definitely light on his first 2 shots, a little bit closer to the pocket. Second time around. Courtney Ermish hanging out, checking out the competition. Seeing who she's going to be bowling in that challenge match for the $100 Visa gift card, courtesy of our hosts here at Sunset Bowl today. I want to thank the Hainan family and all the staff here at Sunset Bowl for their great hospitality for another televised tournament here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Wow, and he found the dry on that shot, definitely.
Yeah, that was a lot better shot than his previous shots. He's getting there. He's real close. Leaves just a bit high pocket 4-pin. So not a bad shot.
No, definitely where he wants to be now. Just finding a little happy medium between the two. And get back and throw some doubles out there. And that's trouble out of his hand. That's just mental mistake right there on a single pin. And he knows it. And now a big opening for his opponent. 19-pin lead for Nick Hagen sitting on the bench. Could get it out to 29 if he can throw a strike here. I'm sorry, he would stay at 19. He's only working on a spare in the 5th frame. He had a nice shot though. He left the 10-pin. Little up on his toes again, but he had the speed behind the shot to hold pocket.
Great shot. His finish definitely is a little nerve-wracking once in a while, but it is fun to watch. It's his comfort. So
yeah, he definitely gets a little bit on the bottom of the ball, lifts up through the ball with that pull with his fingers, and it takes it up through his entire upper body. But he does have very good balance, as we mentioned before, like Walter Ray Williams. Finishes with his trail leg off the ground, but he can hold that finish position all day, and a big double there for Nick. Gets his lead out to 29 pins. And once again, we saw Nick do that earlier in this game. Tyler left it open. Nick threw a double. Second time now, and that's really going to put the pressure on Tyler here to find out how he can strike on lane 3. Looks like he made a slight move left with his feet on lane 4. So probably because he came up just a little bit high pocket last time. And did not project that one out to the right at all.
Yeah, he like you said, he moved a bit left. However, he was still too square at the line and pulled it inside. He needed to open himself up just to project more towards his target to the right just a bit.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to have to be open on this shot. You want to get all 3 pins with the ball here in the 3-6-10 combination. Well, he thought he may have chopped it there and still managed to get all 3 pins with the ball. So that's tough out there. I mean, we usually see about a 75% conversion rate on those 3-6-10 combinations on TV. Taking a little extra time here on the approach. You really need to know his frames are running out. He's got to put some pressure on Nick Hagen. Nice out of his hand. And of course, you figure out one lane and you lose the other one.
Good shot.
Well, he's not out of the match yet. His maximum score right now is still 204. So Nick right now going at a 2-teen pace. But if Nick can get a couple more strikes here in the 8th and 9th frame, it'll be pretty much game over. Nick taking a little extra time on the approach. Gets that ball moving on his second step of that 5-step approach. Way right. Lucky to not leave a 2-10.
He knew right away when he let it go. He was kind of hoping and praying for it to come back up. But he knew that he sent it out there.
Gave it that little bit extra on the bottom. And good thing for Nick, he is a little bit of a straighter player because a little bit of extra entry angle on that shot probably could have left a 2-10 combination. Should be a relatively easy spare for Nick, not to throw the black cloud over him, but he's got that 2-pin cover up. Keeps himself in the lead here by 28 pins. His maximum score right now would be 222. Next Youth Challenge Series tournament coming up. Classic Lanes, Fox Valley, a first-time host for our series with the Straight Shot Youth Classic. Lots of added bonus incentives thanks to Straight Shot Pool, Game, and Billiard Supply up in Menasha. Give them a look on the internet at straightshotwi.com, and I want to thank them for their support and a great bounce back shot by Nick. Keep that lead out at 28 pins. Eileen's Bowling Buddy, once again a great sponsor of our Youth Challenge Series, 2nd year in a row for them. They'll be sponsoring our Midwinter High School Classic Team Tournament New Year's Eve down at Castle Lanes in Racine. You'll see that in early January, thanks to our friends at Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Tyler here looking to get a double and keep himself in this match. He moved a little bit farther right with everything that time and got the ball to mix up nicely.
Yeah, he projected definitely to his target a lot nicer and a lot more clean with that shot.
Well, the situation is if Tyler can strike out for 204, that can force Nick to get the first strike in the 10th to lock up the match. So getting this first strike in the 10th frame is a must for Tyler Sheehy. A little right out of the hand, and he caught a little extra dry and just can't quite get the 9-pin out. He knows he threw a pretty good shot right there, just a little bit too much on the break at the back end.
Right.
Watch that ball face up in the pocket. Lucky that the 2-pin came off the sideboard to take the 4-pin out, but you need a little more help with the 9. And that's pretty much going to end Tyler's day. Yeah, good thing that one pin was another foot farther back because that ball would have hooked by it.
Yeah, he didn't want to hurt it.
So, right now, that's just going to let Nick Hagen mark in the 10th frame to win this match, depending on the count that Tyler gets on the last ball. And only a 6 count for Tyler. So right now, that just means Nick just has to get 9 pins on the first ball, and he's got a lock up on this match. So he can strike out here for 222. Nicely on line, and scrambles it up for the win. Great shot there. So Nick Hagen and Courtney Ermish facing off in the challenge match. Last show that we had Taylor Levine facing off against Jordan Oppelt, and Taylor could have stepped up in the 10th frame, thrown that second strike to win the match. And I gotta say, right now, Courtney scored that first game. She was pretty locked in the pocket. Hate to go against you, Nick, but I'm gonna pick Courtney as my favorite in that challenge match. How about you, Angie?
I would agree. I like Courtney's game. I think she was very, very solid. Easy, nice down and in shot. I think she's got just a bit better luck.
All right, well, we're gonna let Nick shoot his spare here. Angie Reckstein and I will be back with that challenge match from Sunset Bowl for you in just a minute, so make sure you stay tuned for that challenge match. Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com. The challenge match between Courtney Ermish and Nick Hagen, coming to you from Sunset Bowl for the 2014 Kickoff Classic. Courtney Ermish coming off that big game in the first game, her victory over Maddie Brandos, and looking to become a first-time girls challenge match winner this season. A little bit light on that first shot, and that's the same problem she had with lane 3 in her match against Maddie.
Right. You know, sometimes sitting out kind of need a little refresher. So, or it could even be a little bit of nerves as well.
Yeah, lanes changed a little bit with the boys bowling on them, and she did get a couple of shadow balls during the commercial break. Try to find her range again, and unfortunately for her, another first frame open. Maybe it's a good omen for her. She won her first match with the first frame open.
Maybe.
Got a 5-bagger shortly after that. So just a matter of keeping yourself loose enough. Try to walk out of here with a $100 Visa gift card. Lots of school shopping I know both these bowlers are going to be having coming up. So see what Nick can do here to get out to an early lead. We saw him take advantage of open frames in his match against Tyler Sheehy, and he's looking to do it again against Courtney.
Yeah, definitely came out strong, very solid, and a very great shot.
Nick was kind of getting teased by his buddies back there before the match. It's like, you know you got to win, you know you got to beat the girl because we'll never let you hear the end of it. And Nick's kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of in a no-win situation here. If I win this match, I get accused of beating the girl, and if I lose in the match, a girl beat me. And I said, well, that's kind of the object of this whole challenge match. See how good you are, see if you can overcome the nerves, and how about that? He's doing that right now with his first 2 strikes.
Yeah, he jumped on it real quick. Wanted to get out of the door right away with a good lead.
Nick wanted to thank his parents, Scott and Deanne, for all the support with bowling. And his ball driller, Rich Mueller, up at Village Bowl Pro Shop. And you're familiar with Village Bowl now as the practice center for the Cardinal Stritch Wolves.
We are. We're very excited to be there, and we're so happy to have Pete and Rich and the whole Village Bowl gang supporting the Cardinal Stritch program.
Courtney can't quite get the break on the wall shot. Headpin comes around, takes out the 4 and the 7, but can't quite get back to the 5. This should be an easy spare for her. We haven't had a 5-pin missed on TV in over 4 years. And she keeps the streak alive, and a little bit of a smile. Yeah, I made a 5-pin. That's probably the last thing you want to do on TV is miss a 5-pin and have all your family and friends and all the viewers here out here in Time Warner Cable Sports Channel know that you were the person that missed a 5-pin on TV.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be the laughing stock.
Yeah. I know at Motion Plus Lanes, where we have our action heating cooling tournaments, if you miss a 5-pin in league, they actually have pins that you have to sign and autograph. There's quite a few of them behind the lanes that I missed the 5-pin. She gets the 5 out that time, though, with the mixer. Keeps herself close within 21 pins. Well, both these bowlers have bowled against each other in tournament competition before, and they know each other from high school as well. So there'll be a little friendly banter between Nick and Courtney, I'm sure, between shots. See back there, you see Brent Boho, Sam Kivamaki, and Mitch Ortlieb all hanging around, a little group of friends at Nick's. And Nick starting with 3 in a row. How about that?
Yeah, he pulled it just a bit inside, but it held, and he got the 4-pin to trip.
There you see Courtney giving a little wry smile there and a little grief to Nick on his way back for tripping out that 4-pin on her. I'm sure the boys in the back will be giving him a little grief as well. And Brent Boho out here supporting his friends. Couldn't bowl the tournament today. Recovering from a little medical issue. We know we're going to see him on the lanes pretty soon as well. So keep getting better, Brent. All the bowlers out here missed you today. And can't quite get the ball to hook up on lane 3 and leaves that 2-5 and not an easy spare for a 2-pin combination.
Yeah, it looked like it just came a little flat off his hand. And, just pitched out a little to the right.
Yeah, the combination of the 2 in a house pattern, that ball would probably come back and hit the pocket. Right now, that's definitely a multiple pin combination spare. He's going to stay with his strike ball on this one. A little bit of hook in it. You got to avoid that chop, and he does it perfectly.
Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking, knowing that it came a little flat off his hand the first ball. Kept his confidence though. He kept, stayed in it and threw a good job.
See Sam Kivamaki back there give him a little grief on the way back for getting a little fast with that shot, or a little right, a little flat. His friends will tell him what he did wrong. No doubt about that. Courtney needs some help on that shot. A good break to just leave the 4-7.
Yeah, right into the nose.
Well, if you can't string strikes together, stay clean at least and keep yourself close here, Courtney. You never know what might happen later on in the match. Sorry, I don't like choosing favorites on our TV shows, but it's about time a young lady won one of these challenge matches. They're on a streak of 4 in a row of the lost side. So we got to get a young lady taking that home, that $100 Visa gift card. Let's see what Courtney can do here with her 5th frame. Getting in the last commercial break of the day after the shot. Hopefully it's a strike for her. Once again, you see that right shoulder lower than the left in the stance. Helps promote a nice free swing. And pretty much a repeat shot of what Nick just did in that lane.
Right, she came off a shot that she pulled a little left. This one she may have just gotten out a little, to the right, knowing that she just went high. So it's kind of a little compensation.
Well, stays with her strike ball for this. Going to take it a little bit cross lane at the 2-5 combination. Looks pretty good out of her hand and a perfect cover.
Good job.
We're going to get into the commercial break for this game. Join Angie Recksteiner and I back from Sunset Bowl for the rest of this challenge match in just one moment. Nick Hagen takes advantage of his early 3-bagger, gets himself out to a nice 31-pin lead, but as we've seen in a lot of matches here, leads can evaporate quickly with a couple of mistakes. Once again, I want to thank our friends at Time Warner Cable Sports Channel for our 8th season of Youth Challenge Series bowling and all of our bowling here. And that one crept up a little bit high on him and leaves himself a 6-10. I think that was just a case of a little bit of a pull. Watch that ball right through the face. Lucky to break out the 4-7 there.
That wasn't a bad pull. It was just slight, just a slight pull to the left, which, unfortunately just went through the nose just a little high.
Moves across in on the spares. Polyester ball. Perfect conversion. Keeps himself up by 29 pins once again. Thanks to everyone here at Sunset Bowl, the Hainan family, especially Hall of Famer Lynn Tyree Cook. She always helps us get our tournament schedule set up and always puts out a nice shot. Make sure the conditions are what we're looking for the bowlers. So once again, if you're looking for someplace to bowl in Waukesha County, it's always worth a trip to Sunset Bowl. And a bad break there for Nick, ringing up that 10 pin. But
yeah, good shot, stayed aggressive. Now let's just see him run down his 10 pin. Nothing he should be ashamed about.
No, you can just see right there the same demeanor coming back. He knows it's part of the game. Maybe didn't quite get all the fingers in the shot he was looking for, get that proper rotation. And it's just business now. Move across the lane. Take the lane out, play with that polyester ball. Cover up that 10 pin. Just gets enough of it. As our friend Brad Angelo once said, it's not about how fast you throw it, it's just about knocking it over. I think there's quite a few bowlers out there that we both see that can use that bit of advice.
Right. I got a few players on my team that, they very consistent with their speed their first ball, and then second ball they want to speed up their feet and throw it out as hard as possible. So it's just trying to keep that consistency.
Great shot there by Courtney, keeping herself within 3 marks here. She still can strike out for 237, so this game far from over for Nick right now with his 3 spares in a row. He's going at 2-teen pace, so still plenty of room for Courtney to do something right here. 4-step delivery for Courtney. It needs a little help getting up to the pocket, and a big time washout here with the 1, 2, 8, and 10. I'd say for bowler Courtney's ability, it's about a 65 to 70% chance she's going to make this spare.
I would agree.
Needs to get that ball over to the left of the head pin. The ball will take out the 2 and the 8, and the head pin will fly over in the 10 pin if we draw this up properly. Makes a little bit of a move, gets it over to the left. It's got a chance.
Yeah, great shot. Good cover.
And that was huge right there. Instead of falling over 40 pins behind, she still stays within 28 pins. Just needs a little help from Nick here in order to get back in the match. She knows it was good out of her hand. Little sigh of relief there at the end. So it's always tough when you got to make a big washout or a 2-10 combination to stay in a match. Nick, nice. Watch those shoulders open and close nicely. And once again, creeps up high. He's got a little case on the left there. Last couple of shots here, leaving a 6-10. That's one advantage. Some people they like seeing the ball hook, or they like seeing how many boards they can cover. These straighter players, we're seeing how many splits they're breaking out by having a straighter entry angle in the pocket. So it's always not all about how many boards you can cover getting in the pocket. You can leave yourself a lot more splits if you're inconsistent with those higher entry angles.
That's right.
Still 26 pin lead here for Nick Hagen. Getting into our last 3 frames. He's just looking to stay clean and let Courtney do all the work to try to pass him. Sometimes I wonder, you watch these parents in the background, I wonder who's more nervous, the kid bowling on the lanes or the parents watching behind them. Just saw Nick's dad pacing around back there. And now he's kind of confused on what he did in the shot. And his teammate just told him, he just kind of came around it a little bit and spun it. You think of a player like Nick, which seems to be more up the back of the ball, that he wouldn't be spinning with it, but if you get that hand out of position, anything can happen. Not an easy spare here again with that 2-5 combo. Get them both with the ball. That's, ooh.
I thought I was going to take off and chop.
Yeah, I think you get everybody there holding their breath, and here goes Coach Sam Kivamaki back there going, here's what you did on that last shot. Don't get spinny with it. Just keep it up through the ball. So it's amazing how these kids know each other's games nowadays from bowling with each other and can just help them make the little adjustments back and forth and act like a second coach.
Which is awesome. You go to these tournaments, you make new friends, and again, they end up becoming your teammates and lifelong friends, and it's amazing the relationships that these kids can produce through the sport of bowling. It's awesome.
It is. So you'll see a lot of these kids talking after tournament rounds are done. How's things going? How'd you bowl? And that's a huge miss there by Courtney. She's been so good with her spares today. I wasn't worried about throwing a black cloud over her, and unfortunately for her, 36-pin deficit right now, and she's going to pretty much need to strike out to put any pressure on Nick in the 10th frame. Her maximum score right now, 195 if she can strike out. Ooh, big time tug on that. Needs some help. And how about that for a break? She's not happy with that shot. You can see Mom and Dad back there clapping a little bit.
Hey, it looks good on the scoreboard.
Exactly. The scoreboard doesn't know the difference once it's all done. And I'm sure there's enough shots today, like the 10 pins you just left on that previous shot. You thought you threw a good shot in the pocket. You're a little weak in the pocket. And
we're all human. We make mistakes. Got to get lucky once in a while.
That's right, especially in these tougher patterns. You know, you make a 2 or 3 board error on a house pattern, it holds in the pocket. Make a 3 board error out here today, and you're crossing over. Angie, I think you're trying to put a turn signal on for Nick right there.
I'm trying to direct it to get up.
You can tell right away, as soon as that ball was out of his hand, it was way too far to the right. And not an easy spare here with the 1-2-4.
Right.
You gotta get the ball across the head pin and take all 3 pins out with the ball is the best way to shoot at it. That's a little too direct, and yeah, 2-pin doesn't do the job on the 4, and well, Nick basically just has to fill 18 pins in the 10th frame to assure himself of a tie. 19 pins in the 10th frame will lock him up. His first challenge match victory in a Youth Challenge Series tournament. That was also his first boys championship title as well today. Courtney got her first individual championship title today as well. That needs some help to turn up. Could have been a 2-10 combo again, but that straighter angle takes the 10 pin out. And now he just needs to get this spare. If he does it one more time after the spare, he'll walk out of here a winner in that $100 Visa gift card, thanks to our friends here at Sunset Bowl. Taking a little extra time in the approach. I'm sure he's just going to give it that nice little baby hook over the 2-pin area again. Hooks into it. Perfect.
Great spare.
Love the way Nick's shoulders open and close. Even though he plays the lanes relatively straight, gets that nice high backswing by rotating the torso, opening up the shoulders, and doesn't force his shoulders back closed. Really good part of Nick's game here. I think Nick knows what he needs here on the score. He's not looking up at it, but I'm sure he knew before he stepped up in the 10th frame. Little extra time, little extra rosin on the hand, little extra focus. Courtney back there just kind of bouncing her rosin bag around. She knows it's not up to her right now. It's whatever Nick can do here. That needs some help, and wow, has the tide turned with that 7 count. Gives Nick a 194. Courtney can strike out here in the 10th frame for a 1-pin win. And this has been her good lane all day. She had lane choice coming into this game. She knew she wanted to finish on lane 4. Now she's got her chance. Up the line, got a whole pocket. How about that for a wall shot, Angie?
You could tell she liked it. She liked it right when she let go. It was a great shot. Good clutch, shot in the 10th frame. Knows what she needs to do. Let's see what she can do in her second ball.
Yeah, we've all been there, when you're practicing, especially when we were kids. It was just like, hey, we're striking out to beat Earl Anthony or Walter Ray or whatever while we were practicing. Well, she's got the real-life situation to prove herself now. Courtney can strike out here for the 1-pin win. Right at the pocket. And the 6-pin doesn't do a thing on the 10.
The smile on her face, she knew she threw a good shot. Can't take anything away from her. It was solid into the pocket, solid 10-pin. Not much more you could do.
No, and unfortunately for her, that 10-pin miss earlier in the 8th frame. Pretty much that would have been the match winner right there for her. And insignificant miss of the 10-pin there. Nick Hagen takes home this championship with 194 to 183. Angie Rexstar and I will be back in just a moment to wrap up this 2014 Sunset Kickoff Classic. Make sure you stay tuned.
Barbiere's Italian Inn. featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Bluemont Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
Well, Angie, what can you say today? Courtney Ermish had a chance to step up in the 10th frame, even though she had a bad break in the 8th frame, missed a 10-pin, still had a chance to step up and beat Nick Hagen if she struck out in the 10th frame. First shot she threw great. Second shot was pretty good as well. Just couldn't get that break on kicking the 10-pin out.
Yeah, no, she had a really good game. But if going back to that 10-pin miss, unfortunately, that could have been a game changer. That's why we tell all our college, high school bowlers, college bowlers, that how important spares are. So that could have been a definitely huge game changer, even though she had a strong 10th frame.
Courtney still takes home a nice chunk of scholarship money today, though. Nick Hagen, though, takes home his scholarship money and then a $100 Visa gift card, thanks to our friends here at Sunset Bowl. So stay tuned for more bowling here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. For my friend Angie Rexsteiner, make sure you go to stritchwolves.com and check out how their bowling teams are doing this year. I'm Phil Brylow, and parents, take the kids bowling. They'll have fun for life. We'll see you once again on our next show.